today, and so it's sort of a combined, I'm putting today and next week together. They sort of fit together nicely. And it's part of our curriculum and all. There are 3 holidays that come in May that have to do with Israel. So can you name them? What are they?
Asmaot, which is today.
Yom HaAtzmaut.
Yom
HaShoah. And Independence
Yeah, there was
Day.
Yom HaShoah too, but that's not
That
particular
last
to
one.
Israel. I'm
Oh.
talking just
Yom
Independence-
HaZikaron.
Hazikaron.
Yom HaAtzmaut ended on the 5th last night. It was
Yeah.
May 4th to May 5th in the evening. So that's finished.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, and what
Not
comes right
Gomer.
before Yom HaAtzmaut?
Yom HaZikaron.
Haron,
Okay,
Yom
what does that mean,
HaZikaron.
Sherry?
independent.
Well, remember the word Zachor.
Remembrance.
Remember, that's to remember the fallen soldiers,
Okay.
those who
So
gave their
you can
lives.
see from the root Zachor, remember, that some people use that as a slogan for the Holocaust. Remember, never forget. But Yom HaZikaron is Israel's Memorial Day for all the fallen soldiers in all of Israel's wars, which since 1948, unfortunately, have been numerous. We're a small country and a young country. So the first one was Yom HaZikaron, and that was the 3rd to the 4th. I guess that was Tuesday to Wednesday, and then Wednesday to Thursday was Yom HaAtzmaut. And here's the really weird thing. In the United States, Memorial Day is the end of May. It's separate, right? It's serious, it's solemn. And Independence Day with parades and food and hot dogs and watermelon, that's in July. They're very separate. It's weird. I've always thought this was very weird in Israel. They have a very serious day, Yom HaZikaron, the Memorial Day. And then right after that, at night, when the next day begins, people going to the beach, they're having picnics, and they're celebrating Yom HaAtzmaut. They're back to back. It's almost like it's like a swing thing. So you're going to the cemetery and standing at attention and saluting those fallen chayalim, the soldiers, and then you're going into everybody having a good time, having fun, and celebrating Israel independence. Anyone know how old Israel is?
70.
74.
74. Yep, she's a ripe old age. She's 74. Now, later in the month, it's another Yom, and that's Yom Yerushalayim. And that I looked up, that's going to start on Saturday night, May 28th, and goes Sunday night, May 29th.
Or one other. I'm sorry, this is my doctor calling.
That's it. Take it. So Yom Yerushalayim, well, the word Yerushalayim gives you a hint. What does that celebrate?
Jerusalem.
The Yom
Someday.
was something to do with Jerusalem. And so before 1967, before the 6-Day War, Jerusalem was divided. There was the New Jerusalem, which we had, and the old city was in Arab hands. So after the 6-Day War, you have those iconic pictures of Shlomo Goren, and they're blowing the shofar at the wall, and soldiers leaning against it and crying. There's really a lot of very special pictures. Anyway, that celebrates the reunification of Jerusalem to be a united city. Old and New Jerusalem were united in 1967 in that war. And so there's a special day, Yom Yerushalayim, to commemorate that the soldiers captured and kept the old city, which means that the mosque where the Arabs pray is in Jewish hands. So when you go there, you'll see Israeli soldiers. And when you go on the top, which I was able to get up on the top, it wasn't supposed to, there was a sign not to go up, but my daughter and I went up, and there's Arab school children going across the mound there, the Temple Mount, and tourists and people. But we put the babushkas on, and we were all covered up, and up we went until we saw this man eyeing us, and he didn't look so savory. So we started to walk a little faster. we left, but we wanted to see the Temple Mount, So that will come up. Now, there's not a special service in any of the prayer books, really, any of the older prayer books for Yom Ha'atzmaut. So they said, well, what shall we use for a service? What prayers can we use? So they decided that for Yom Ha'atzmaut, they would use Hallel, which is used on festivals. And that's a festive time. It's your independence. And so next week, I will go over parts of Hallel. If at your Seder, some of you have people who know Hebrew really well, then they were singing at the end, after the meal, parts of Hallel. So it's really nice. We'll go over some of the melodies. Now, wanted to start with today. Now, I sent you something and then I added something to it. And if you, this is a headache. If you printed anything out, I found in transliteration, Yerushalayim Shel Zahav, Jerusalem of Gold, and I only took the first two stanzas. I didn't want to take too much time with the chorus. And then I found the translation in English of that. So I found what I wanted to play is, second here. Okay, is Ofra Haza, whom I think is Yemeni, and she has a very special sound, but she sings slowly. So if you have that, this is what I sent you, the words to Jerusalem of Gold. I didn't put it in Hebrew, but because I figured you don't know it and you'd have trouble trying to catch up. But it's in transliteration. So those two stanzas and the chorus, you can sing along if you want, or you can just follow. And then this is a nice translation. The mountain air is clear as wine, and the scent of pines, or anima pines, is carried on the breeze of twilight with the sound of bells.
Did you just send?
No, I sent it a little earlier, a couple hours ago.
But after you sent Tikva and
I sent that, and then I sent right after that, I sent another one because I decided that I wanted to do this. So I want you to hear this, and you can just enjoy. Her voice is very beautiful. And very famous. Okay, so this is Ofra Haza. It starts, there it goes. Can you hear it?
Going in and out.
Okay, that's what I want to the first two. So the words in the chorus, a lot of people know that, and Jerusalem of Zahav, what's that?
Gold,
What's the name?
gold.
Gold, like the name Goldie in Hebrew is Zahava.
Mhm.
Okay, Golda Meir, I guess she could have been called Zahava, even though she was Russian. She was from near what's it?
Yeah.
Kiev. All right, so Jerusalem of gold, and Nechoshed is bronze, and of Vishel, and of or is light. The most gorgeous sunset I ever saw in my life was looking over the wall in Jerusalem towards the Arab side, and it was absolute sunset, was magnificent. And then greetings to all your songs. I am a violin. Kinor is a violin. And the Kinneret, Yam Kinneret up in north, that's the, they call that the Sea of Galilee, but the Kinnor, it's named for King David's harp, Yam Kinneret, because he played the Kinnor. And it looks like the shape of a harp. So I guess the harp and violin are related in Hebrew. Okay. So what I wanted to then go into, so that would be for Yom Yerushalayim, of course. Then Yom, so Hatikva, you know, it's interesting. I'll tell you what's interesting. What is our national anthem like? If you were to describe it to somebody.
A war song.
The war song.
Yeah, it's very, very nationalistic and very bombastic, and the bombs and the right.
Yeah, it's not about
And
hope.
it's not about hope. It's not about peace. A lot of people, you know, there was a while there where people were saying, let's change the national anthem to America the Beautiful. Oh, beautiful, for
It
space.
makes more sense. Yeah.
You know, and that's about the land, for purple mountains, majesty above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Beautiful, right?
Yeah.
That would make that, I think after 9/11, when Congress was on the steps, they were outside, I think they sang America the Beautiful. And that was a moment where you felt proud, very proud to be American, because everybody was united, not at each other's throats. And when I've been teaching my English class, and I asked different students to sing their national anthems. So I have a lot of South Americans and Central Americans. So some of them are songs about the country, and some are war songs. Anybody know French? What about La Marseillaise? Allons enfants de la patrie, le jour de gloire est arrivé. It's about battles. It's also about fighting, the victory. So they're French. I think the Canadian one is, oh, Canada,
Yeah.
glorious and true.
Right.
Canada is like Pacific, nice and peaceful, but not our national anthem. So Hatikva, when you look at the words, if you have your Siddur, and I said you might want to be actually starting to use your Siddur now because you're all grown up. There's no more preschool here. So I was looking at Lev Shalem on page 178, and they have the words in English. Oh, no, that's not Hatikva. The Tikva is the page. Let's get Hatikva. So look at the words for Hatikva and tell me, what does Hatikva sound like, the national anthem? I mean, some people actually probably think that it's Jerusalem of gold, but it's not. As long as the heart of the Jew beats, and as long as the eyes of the Jew looks eastward, then our 2,000-year hope is not lost, to be a free nation in Zion in Jerusalem. So a Jew is looking eastward. If we're looking eastward, we must be in the west, right? We're looking east. What is that about a 2,000-year hope?
Oh, Jerusalem. It was the diaspora for 2,000 years.
Right, was created when what significant event took place? In 70 Common Era, 70 CE.
The destruction of the
Romans-
temple.
Of the second temple.
It burnt down. The second temple was destroyed, so like a Jewish monarchy went with it. And that, as you said, rightly.
Everyone went
it's
into the diaspora.
went to, exactly, Ellen has it right on. Everybody left and went to all different countries. We spread out, and here we are. Here we are in the United States, and there's Jews all over the world because that fell apart. You know, that was a big war and big destruction, and so no more temple, no place to offer sacrifices. Now, can you offer sacrifices in your backyard? No, you can't. You can't do what the priests did, what the Levites did, and Aaron the Kohen. You can't. You cannot offer sacrifices to God on your barbecue. I hate to break it to you. So the name. What about the name of our national anthem? What is that? What does Hatikva mean?
I think it means the
Oh.
hope.
Hope.
The hope. So isn't it very different from our United States national anthem? Here is the
Yeah.
hope. After 2,000 years, the last Jewish state or monarchy, that was a hope for a Jewish country, for Jews, a homeland from 70 CE. So that's over 2,000 years. So it's a very different thing. It was a hope. And that's why it's not a big song, but the words are very beautiful. And let's see if you know some of the words. I pulled out some of the words just to see, and then we can sing. Okay, so Hatikva is the hope. What does the word Yehudi mean?
Jews.
A Jew, right? Yehudi
Right.
is a Jew. I have a friend whose name is in
Carol,
Hebrew, Yehudit.
I don't have the same prayer book and I'm having trouble finding.
What prayer book do you
Um,
have?
My book is Siddur Hadash. And I'm looking and I see a bunch
Did
of,
you look in the table of contents
yeah,
for Hatikva?
yeah.
Sometimes they
looking
have it
for
with
the hope,
additional
I'm looking
songs
for
about
Hatikva.
Israel.
I have a
Sometimes
section.
they have it in the back.
My Sim Shalom listed as an anthem. It doesn't. list
anthem?
Anthem, because it has
It just
both,
says anthem.
yeah, it says
Just that
anthem, so
word.
it has the Star Spangled Banner and Hatikva.
Uh,
All right. In Lev
supplementary-
Shalem, it's under additional prayers and songs.
Yeah, it's the readings
Are
and
there
prayers.
readings for the land of Israel? Does it say readings for
Keep
Israel?
going. I'll find it.
Well, I have an art
Okay.
scroll. Do you have a page for art scroll? I haven't been able to find it either in the art scroll.
Hmm.
In Art Scroll? I'm surprised there's nothing in the index. in
I
table of
don't know.
contents.
Hymns and
A
anthems.
lot of times, though, they have it in the back.
Yeah,
It's page 395
So-
in this Sim Shalom, which
Yeah,
really.
they're usually in the back. So call old balevav, call old while in the heart. Panima, panima is in your inner heart, inside, in your inner heart of hearts. Nefesh Yehudi, the soul of a Jew, homia, beats while you're alive. Ulfate Mizrach Kadima, and towards Mizrach is east, Kadima, and towards the east, you're looking towards the east. Ayin Litzion, and I on Zion, Sophia, is hoping. The eye is hoping for Zion. I'm just giving a translation. It says to be free nation in Zion. It's not exactly that, but okay. Ayin Litzion Sophia. Sophia means is anticipating. It's hoping, and so it's very positive. And we have a number coming up. Hatikva Bat, the daughter of Shanot. Shana is year. Shanot Alpayim. Does anyone know any Hebrew numbers? What Aleph is?
10.
1,000.
That's
100.
Eser. Eser is 10.
It's 11. Aleph is
Aleph.
11.
No,
No,
1,000.
big number.
1,000.
1,000. Aleph. Now, in Hebrew, the ayim ending, like Shavu ayim means 2 weeks.
Mm, mhm.
So this is Alpayim, it means 2,000. So Hatikva Bat Shanot Alpayim, or 2,000-year-old hope is not lost. L'hiot Am Chofshi, Chofshi is free, Am is a nation, to be, L'hiot Am Chofshi. When Israelis go on vacation, they go on Chofesh,
Mhm.
then they're free from work.
Oh,
Chofesh.
okay.
So Chofshi means free in the sense of liberty. Atikva Bat Shanot Alpayim, the daughter of 2,000 years, Lihiot of waiting, Lihiot Am Chofshi Be'artsenu. Now you have a prefix and a suffix. What's the basic guts of that word? What's the basic
In our
part of that word?
in our land.
Right. What word is land? Yeah. What is
Art.
word is land?
Like arts, like Eretz arts.
Eretz.
That's like Eretz.
Eretz. So there's Hebrew is built on prefixes and suffixes. So be means in, Eretz is land, and nu means our.
Or
So in our land, L'hiot Am Chofshi, to be a free nation, nation, Be'artsenu, in our land, Eretz Zion, the land of Zion, the Yerushalayim. And it's interesting, as they say, the land of Zion in, or actually this, and Jerusalem, so important, a city, that the holy city, that they say it's not enough, just Zion and Jerusalem. Okay, Zion and Jerusalem. So everybody knows, I think, the tune for Hatikva. But first, let's just try the words out. Okay, let's just do the words and make sure that everybody can say the words, because when you're singing, you go faster. So repeat after me, and then we'll sing it. I'll get someone to say the words first. Kol od balevav panima.
Oh,
Nima.
Nefesh Yehudi Homiya. Ulfaate Mizrach Kadima.
Mizrach
Kadima.
Okay, so Kadima, it means east, but it's also what the Israeli commanders say in battle. They historically go in the front and then they yell Kadima, like Kadima boy chicks, after me, Kadima. That's what the Israelis, in other words, they're showing the bravery up front. Okay, if the commander says after me, you're going to follow somebody who's going to do what you're going to do. So Kadima, it's forward. Ayin Litzion Sophia.
Yeah.
Okay, I want a brave soul to read those 4 lines. Let's see, a brave soul. Anybody want to do that? Come on, you can all read. Everybody can read. Nobody should be afraid. All right, Michelle, go for it.
Okay. I'm going to try to do it with the Hebrew, not the transliteration. So bear with me.
Oh, you have transliteration of that?
Yes.
I don't.
Yes, at the bottom.
It's on what you sent us. The page that you
Oh,
sent
yeah,
us.
it's on the bottom. Oh, cheat sheet. I didn't even realize it.
I gave away the secret. That's where we all sounded so good. Kol od valevav panima Nefesh. Nefesh, hold on. Yehudi.
Mhm.
Homia.
Mhm.
Keep going.
Oh, great.
Ulfa'at Tai.
Okay.
Ulfa'atai. Tay.
Okay.
Sorry, Tay.
Mhm.
Sorry about that. Mitra Kadima. Ayin Litzion Sophia.
Good. Now, I don't know if you have here any of the letters you don't like. The tzadi maybe you don't like, and the chet. Just with the chet, always remember that what I said to that kid, what's your name? He says Yitzchak, Yitzchak. And I go, no, Yitzchak. This actually happened in Hebrew class many years ago. So that chet is important. You don't say l'chaim, you say l'chaim. I think Jewish people are built with that chet
Yeah.
in their throat. Yeah, it's built in. Somebody else want to do the first? That was Tov Ma'od. You get an A for that, Michelle.
I'll
Somebody
try
else want
it.
to try it? Go ahead, Helene.
Od lo avda tikvatenu.
Do the first. Do again the first. Let's make sure we got the first.
Od
Do the first.
lo
First
avda.
verse. Helene.
Oh, you want me to repeat
First
what's already
section.
been done? I'm sorry.
I do. I want to make sure we all get that.
Oh, I thought you wanted, okay. Kol od valevav pinima. Nefesh Yahudi homiyah. Ufa'ate Mizra Kadima Ayin Litzion Sophia.
Very nice. Tov Ma'od. Good things come in threes. One more. Don't be shy. Step right up.
I'll
Get
try
your
it.
Cupid doll.
I'll try it.
Okay, and Janice, go for it.
Kol od baleva, penima, nefesh, behudi, homiya. Ul fa'ate, mitrach, kadima. Ayin, letzion, Sophia.
Good. All right, should we try to sing that? All right, da, 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 all right, can we try to sing that first stanza?
Okay.
All right, let's do it slowly. 1, 2, 3.
Kol
Kol
od
baleva
panima nefesh Yehudi homiyah. Ufa'ate Mizra Kadima Ayin Litzion Sophia. Did we do it right?
Yoki.
Did we, I mean,
Yeah.
are we saying the
Yes.
syllables with the right?
You
Tune.
are. That's the way it
Okay.
goes. Does anyone want to try to sing the first one? I'm getting very demanding here. I am la exigenta. Anybody
I'll
want to
try
to
it, but I've
sing?
already had a turn. Oh, Michelle raised her.
How about
No,
a
I was
duet?
saying it's okay for you to do it, Helene.
Rhoda, you want to try it?
No, no, I'm a
First
good
verse.
listener. I'm enjoying participating with the others.
I don't want to
Okay.
yes.
Ed, would you like to
Elaine, do it.
sing?
Elaine.
Ellen?
I can't sing. You don't want me
Okay,
to sing.
Beryl, I'm going through
No,
here. Come on, Sherry Fox, you can sing.
I clear
Fine.
out the class.
Fine,
very quickly.
okay,
Fine,
we have a
fine.
winner. Fine, you get the Cupid doll.
Kol od Kol balevav pnima nefesh Yehudi hoya ufarte mizrach kadima ayin litzion Sophia.
Beautiful.
Yopi.
Great.
Very, you know, if they heard you singing that in Israel, I think they would draft you into the army.
I'm so glad we're
They
doing
would
this.
send you
I
your
always,
green
I
shirt.
always hate it when people around me are singing this and I just don't know how to do it.
I
Well,
agree. I
thank you
agree.
Don't
for
know how to do
teaching
it.
us
Are there
this.
any who want to do a, yeah, you know, one thing I've learned in education is never assume that students know something you think they know, because then you're always surprised that they don't know. So is there, are there two people who want to do a duet or try it? Let's try it again, everybody. Okay, and then if you like to listen, now's your chance to sing and you won't be soloed out, okay? Let's try it. Achat, Shayim, Shalosh, Lashir, sing. Oh, Baleva, Penima, Nefesh Yehudi, Homiya, Ufate Mizrach Kadima, Ayin Lezion Tomiya. That wasn't so horrible. That wasn't terrible at all. All right, let's go through the second part where they're waiting for 2,000 years for 1948. It was a big wait, right? Almost 2,000 years. And here we go. Od lo avda tikvatenu.
Od lo
Od
avda tikvatenu.
Hatikva bat shanot alpayim.
Hatikva bat shanot alpayim.
Lihyot am chopshi be'artsenu.
Lihyot am chopshi
Be'artsenu. Okay, there's your friend the Shva under the book. Be'artsenu. Okay, and the last line. Eretz Sion v'Yerushalayim.
Carol, do you have a suggestion for, I always get the pay and the fay mixed up. I can never remember which one has the dot and which one.
Yeah, the pay has the point.
You don't know how, oh, pay has the point. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a good way to remember. Okay,
The pay has the point, the dot. Pay has the point.
thank you.
Okay. So, yeah, so we wanted the whole land and especially we wanted Jerusalem. So Jerusalem is like the heart, right? The soul, the nefesh. Nefesh, it's the nerve center of a Jew, historically, Jerusalem. Okay, so now let's try if I can get you, some of you out of your comfort zone a little bit. I'll say a line, I'm gonna call on somebody and you never know who it's gonna be. And you say it, you'll hear it and then you'll repeat it. One line, okay? Not to get crazy. Don't.
This
Don't get
half I
nuts
know,
now.
I've read plenty of times, but because I catch up by the time we get to the second stanza.
No. Now you're gonna sing with the crowd.
Oh, I don't.
All right, go to the front of the class. All right, Beryl, listen up. Od lo avda tikvatenu.
Od lo adva tikvatenu.
Avda, listen,
Avda.
avda. What's the last word?
Oh, tikvatenu.
Beryl, drop the other shoe. Right,
Tikvatenu?
Od lo avda. Right, avda tikvatenu, our hope. Avda means past. avad, forget it, it's done. Okay, but they say od lo, not yet is past. We have not yet given up hope. Od lo avda, not yet past our hope. Okay, toda, next line, listen up. Hatikva bat shanot alpayim. Beth.
Hatikva bat Shanat
Shanot,
Alpayim.
good.
Shanot
Okay,
Alpayim.
Shanot, that vav with the dot is O vowel. Okay, good. Third line. Lihiot am chopshi be'artsenu. Alin.
Lichiot, have she,
Okay, now in that case, it's chopshi. It's that Kamat says that old fashioned Ashkenazic,
oh,
because it's
right.
bigger.
Kolshi,
Good,
Be'artsenu.
okay. Nice. The last one is gonna be Rhoda. Eretz Sion v'Yerushalayim.
Eretz Vion Barushalayim.
Sion,
Pardon me?
Sion.
Sion, yes, I see Sion.
Tzadi, yeah, Eretz Sion v'Yerushalayim. Okay, all
Barushalayim.
right. Now this goes up a little bit. Da 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 dee da 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 dum dee da 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 dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee, and then they repeat. All right. Shall we try it? Come on, you brave souls. What happened to Eddie? Where is she? I see Eddie's. Eddie, not there? Okay, let's try. Hold low, I'm the.
Hold low.
Oh, now I forgot the mouth. No, don't pie him. Leave And I'm sure you could go online and find really beautiful YouTubes of them singing this.
Can I
Okay,
ask
but
you a
that-
question, Carol? What is the word
Yes.
lihiyot? Because it
To
sounds
be.
like to
No,
leave.
lihiot means, no, lihiot means to be, to exist.
Oh, because
To be
I
or not to
know
be.
that Israelis often say lihirot, or they say it when they leave some.
Oh, they
Bye.
say. No, lehit- no,
No, that's different.
lehitraot. Okay, you know, lehitraot.
Oh,
Raot
Yeah.
means seeing. It means we'll see each other. Lehitraot means we'll see each other. Lehitraot.
Okay.
Okay, like see you soon. Lehitraot. And raot is seeing. Lirot is seeing. Lehitraot is seeing each other. It's reflexive. Yeah, but lihiot, it means to be. Okay, lihiot chopshi, to be a free country. Be'artsenu, in our land. Eretz Sion, Yerushalayim. You know, a lot of girls, when they either bat mitzvah or just as a gift, they got a Jewish star, a little gold Jewish star. And in it were the letters, very tiny written, Sadi Yud Vav Nun. It's like the whole family. Look, the baby Nun and the mama Vav and the daddy long legs, the long Nun. Like the whole, but I've had Jewish women come up to me and say, could you read what's on my star? And I go, it says Zion. So if you ever saw that come, it means Zion. You know, if you got a gift like when you were a kid, 13, and it was a star, a little star, and it had like some writing. I'll bet anything it says Zion. That's what they used to write on those jewelry things on the star. So now you'll be able to read it. So if you
Yeah,
have jewelry
children
like that,
should
you
be
don't have it.
told when they receive that what it is. They
Maybe their
don't.
parents don't know, but they saw Hebrew
Oh,
writing
I'm
and they
sure
go,
that's
this
the
is good.
case. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
So, okay. So the last thing I wanted to do today, because all Jerusalem, related. We can do this. Okay, the last thing, so we did Hatikva and we heard Jerusalem of gold. Now we're going to get to a prayer that we say in the morning service, Shabbat morning, after the Torah reading, after the Haftorah, and we sing, we're going to do the Amidah, but it's not part of the Amidah. It's the prayer for the state of Israel. Okay, and in Lev Shalem, it is on the same page. I think I gave this to you once before. It has on the top a prayer on page 178, a prayer for the state of Israel, which the cantor sings with the congregation, part of it anyway, and then he finishes it. And on the bottom, I know we did this when we were talking at Ukraine. He wrote something and whatever, the prayer for peace. Okay, so the top of 178 is the prayer for Israel. And there's a lot of words, again, that I think by now you probably know. I love this prayer. I think it's beautiful. It has a lot of words that have a lot of significance to Jewish people. They're like loaded, a lot of these words, with Jewish tradition and Jewish history. So it says, Tefillah, prayer, Lishalom, for peace, Medinat Israel, for the state of Israel. Medinat is state. So it says, Avinu Sheba Shemayim, God who's in heaven, Sur Yisrael, rock of Israel. Where have we seen that Sur?
Ages.
Maos, and
You rock
Sur
of it?
Yisrael, Koma Be'ezrat Yisrael. We've seen that word Sur a lot. Maos, Sur Yeshuati. So Sur is rock. That's another name for God. Rock. Sur Yisrael, the rock of Israel. There's a lot of names for God. So God, our Father who's in heaven, rock of Israel, the Goalo, and its Redeemer, Barech et Medinat Yisrael. Barech. What root do you think that's from? What does that mean, Barech? And what does Baruch mean?
Blessed.
Bless. This is a command. This is a command. Barech, bless. It's a command. Barech et Medinat, bless the state of Israel. So our Father who's in heaven, rock of Israel, and its Redeemer, bless the state of Israel. And they added Shetaheh, that will be Reshit Smichat. Reshit is the beginning of the flowering or the growth. So it will have Reshit, the beginning of Tzmichat Keulatenu, the beginning of the flowering of our redemption. Now another command, Hagain Alecha, Hagain. Where have you seen that? What does Magain David mean?
Oh, shield.
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 So that's from the same root. And Magain is a command and it means shield. So now we are using commands here with God, which is interesting. We're using the verbs are in the command. So it says shield, Hagain, Alecha. Shield it, be'evra chastecha, with your mercy. And we have that word chasidim, and we said those are pious ones, merciful ones. Chesed, hein, b'chesed, v'rachamim, mercy, chesed. So shield Israel, Hagain Alecha, be'evrat chastecha, with your mercy. Ufaros Alecha sukat shlomecha. And I love that whole phrase. And spread Ufaros Alecha, upon it.
Elaine Holland.
Sukkot Shlomecha. What does the word Sukkot remind you of? What holiday?
Sukkot.
Yeah. So what is a sukkah? It is an impermanent structure which shields us for the time of Sukkah, the holiday, Chag HaSukkot, right? The 8 days, and we keep it up for about 10 until Simchat Torah. So it's a faros ufaros alecha sukat shlomecha, and spread over us your sukkah of peace. Isn't that beautiful? I think that's your sukkah of peace. Sukat shlomecha. So
Your peace.
it like spread upon over all of Israel and its inhabitants a sukkah, a shelter of peace. What do they have now? They send it, it's like an umbrella kind of a thing that, it's a shield that shields Israel from the missiles, the dome, Iron Dome.
Iron Dome.
Okay, instead of Iron Dome, which is used in war, think of it as a sukkah covering Israel, protecting us with peace. It's just, I think it's just really so beautiful. Sukkot Shlomecha, it's great words. Again, another command. We're commanding God here. I hope you know it. Ushalach, and send orcha, send your light, like a divine light. Ve'amitcha, and your truth. L'rashecha, sarecha, v'yoatzecha. Okay, to your your counselors, your advisors, like your leaders, your counselors and advisors. That's what those three words mean. L'rashecha, like the heads of your tribes, the rosh, sarecha v'yoatzecha, v'takneim be'etzah tova, and fix in good etzah. Oh, and fix upon them, fix them with good counsel. Etzah is advice. Give them good counsel to all our leaders. We would only wish, right? Okay. V'tatnei be'etzah tova milfanecha, before you. So they are responsible. They're standing before God, and God is going to advise all of our leaders, our advisors, our counselors with good ideas, with goodness for the people. Here's another command, chazek. What does chazak mean? Chazak,
Strength.
Okay, so chazaka, yad chazaka is a strong hand. Okay, we came out with yad, strong hand, God, a strong hand, and outstretched strong hand. Chazek, strengthen, chazek et yedei, miginei eretz kodecha. Strengthen the hands of the defenders, Meginei, Eretz, of your holy land. So, in other words, protect and strengthen the Chayalim, the soldiers, in particular here. V'han Hilenu, Eloheinu, Yeshua, Haniach, and give comfort, and comfort them, the defenders of the state of Israel, Eloheinu, our God. Yeshua, I forgot Yeshua, but it crowned them with a good crown. Crowned them, okay. Crown the defenders with a crown of victory. So protect your soldiers, comfort them, and crown them with victory. That's what it says. Okay, ateret nitzachon ta'atrem. V'natata shalom, and give peace, be'eretz v'simchat olam, and everlasting joy. Bring peace and everlasting joy. Liyoshvecha, to your inhabitants, those who yoshev, those who sit, those who dwell, your inhabitants. And let's say, Amen. So when I read this again, I said, this is very interesting. We are not saying, God, please do this. We are giving commands here to defend and protect and make peace. So I just thought that was really interesting. And it's very nice phrases like that. Simchat olam, everlasting joy. That's not bad. And strengthening our defenders and defend us, Hagen, defend, and Shalach, send peace. That's very nice. And I love that Sukkot Shlomecha, put upon us. So when you're in a synagogue and you think, okay, I'm protected here, maybe even if it's just spiritually or mentally, but I'm in a frame of mind where I am now on prayer service that I feel good, I feel calm, I feel that maybe there is a higher power. Okay, I can't prove it, but it's all feelings. It's how you internalize, your religion. But certainly I never really translated it before today. I sat down for a while and I translated this and I said, I've always liked this prayer, but I said, it's more than just be nice to Israel. It's really got a message for everybody. And the translations, it's okay. It says, Avinu Shabashamayim, stronghold and redeemer of the people Israel, bless Baruch, the state of Israel, that it may be the beginning of our redemption. Shield, there's another command, shield it with your love, spread over it the shelter of peace, guide its leaders and advisors with your light and truth, help them with your good counsel, strengthen the hands of those who defend our holy land, deliver them. So a whole bunch of commands here. Crown their efforts with triumph, bless, and then again, bless the land with peace. We are pretty, that's a lot of effrontery. We're using commands here. And by the way, all the commands are in the masculine form, just in case you would want to know. Because this prayer book was not part of the feminist revolution. So they'd have to change all those commands to feminine commands in a feminist prayer book, but that's okay. We could do that. Okay. So anyway, let's say it. And then when you go to shul, I'll be in synagogue tomorrow. When you're in shul, think of this nice prayer. Okay. I'm gonna
say goodbye.
say a few words.
I should have to leave a few minutes early, so I'll probably leave in the middle of this.
Okay, Diana. Yes, you said you would. Okay. So I'm gonna say some words and I'll stop and you're gonna repeat. Avinu Shabashamayim.
Avinu
Shabashamayim.
Tur Yisrael.
To Yisrael.
The Goalo.
Go on.
Barei. Et Medinat Yisrael.
Israel.
Skip the word in parentheses. Reshit Smicha. Geulatenu. Again Aleha.
Again, Aleha.
Be'evrat Chasdecha.
Evrat Chasdecha.
And here's that nice sukkah phrase. Ufros Alecha Sukat Shalomecha.
Ufros Alecha.
Shalomecha.
Shalomecha. Ushalach Orcha.
Ushlach Orcha.
Va'amitecha.
Amitecha.
L'rashecha. This is where we're talking about the leaders and advisors. Sareha.
Sareha.
V'yoatseha. V'taknem. Be'etzah tova.
Be'etzah tova.
That's the good advice. Milfanecha.
Milfanecha.
Now here's strengthen. Chazek.
Chazek.
Et Yedei.
Yadei.
That's the hands of Migine Eretz Kodshen. Right. Whenever you see that bigger little T, the bigger kamatz, that is pronounced or, like the Ashkenazi or. So it's Migine Eretz Kodshen. Kodshen. Okay. Bahan Chilem.
Elohim,
Lame.
Eloheinu,
Elohim,
Yeshua,
Yeshua,
Va'ateret,
Ba'ateret,
Nitzachon,
Nitzachon,
Ta'atrem.
Tatrem.
Okay, that's crown them with victory. Nitzachon is victory. V'natata shalom
Natata Shalom,
Shalom.
be'eretz,
Be'eretz,
give peace in the land. V'simchat olam,
Simchat Olam,
Olam.
everlasting joy. Liyoshveha,
Yoshbecha,
to its inhabitants. V'nomar,
Amen.
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 Okay, so a lot of us, so when the cantor does, and we sing it in our song, anyway, the cantor does part of it, Sherry knows that, he goes something like, Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, for Israel Golo, and he repeats it, Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, for Israel Golo. Barei, Barei, and Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Tzmicha Geulatenu, Hagen Alecha Be'evrat Pastecha, Ufros Alecha Sukkot Shlomecha, and he repeats that whole thing. Is that familiar to anybody? Anyone hear
Yes.
that?
Oh, yes,
Never?
yes, that's.
Yes?
Absolutely.
Who said yes? Yes.
I did.
Yeah, so it's very nice, but he doesn't do we don't do the whole thing with him, and then he goes back.
We
and
do
the
it up to
melody
Hazak.
changes.
We do it up through Milfanecha before Hazak.
So what happens with Mel?
Hazak.
How does the melody go? Shalach Orecha.
Oh, now I have to go back. And then he does the rest of it himself.
And then he says the rest. But that's a nice melody. Da, dee, da, 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 dee, da, da. You have to practice that melody.
Melody is
And if you
beautiful.
look online, it's really pretty. The melody is beautiful, but now you see the prayer is really beautiful. But I was kind
Carol,
of a little surprised with all those commands. Yeah.
Carol, I wrote
Yeah.
a list. It's actually interesting. There's really a progression to this prayer. I wrote the list of the commands just in a list in English. And it's interesting because
Okay.
there's kind of a progression. It's bless,
Let's hear it.
shield,
Let's hear it.
guide, help, strengthen, deliver, and then bless again. So it's really, if you read it that way, it's really like a progression. First
That's a
shield, then guide, then help, then strengthen, then deliver, and then bless again.
Yeah, so what I see is, at first it goes from like passive, shield us, you do the work, shield
Right.
us. And then guide, now you're giving us the components to help ourselves, and helping us, strengthening us.
And then
so we're gonna
deliver.
defend ourselves, deliver them, so that makes sure that we can, with all this help, we can be successful, and crown us with victory. But the victory, seems to me, is gonna come from our own hands. We're
But
going
he
to be
starts,
guided.
it starts with the state of Israel, the largest entity. And it then goes back, then it keeps going like, then the advisors, etc. And it ends with the
Uh-huh.
land and the inhabitants. So
Yeah, I like that.
It's an interesting
That it's very
progression.
personal.
Mhm.
That's really.
It's
I'm glad
very
you pointed that
personal.
out.
So we start with God is protecting us, and we're getting the means to help ourselves. And then, as Beryl says, very nice. And as Sherry said, these are very good observations. Bless the land, everybody.
It's
whether
like
you're
it
in the
comes
army
a
or
full
not.
It's like a full circle because it
Yeah.
starts with
Blessed
Redeemer of
and
the
then
people
blessed.
Israel, and it ends with bless the land with peace and its inhabitants. So it kind of comes full circle.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, here, I'm gonna help you out, and then you're gonna learn to help yourself. And then I will bless you. Second time. So some of these prayers are really, they're really beautiful, and when you go to shul, I hope that you reread the English and catch some of the words. And you wanna have fun, ask your rabbi, how come we're using so many commands with God in this prayer, telling God to do these things? Bless and strengthen, deliver, and all that stuff, like ante up. I just find that's really interesting.